the Hunter Biden investigation that's being mishandled. There's an IRS whistleblower that came forward and said there is clear conflicts of interest. Now, this comes at a really odd time because just 2 days ago, according to multiple news sources, including the New York Post, this is before this IRS whistleblower, 6 more Bidens may have gained from family business schemes. And this is according to Kentucky GOP Congressman Comer. But here is the story. This is according to the New York Post. 6 more members of the Biden clan may have benefited from the family's various business schemes, bringing the total number of kin implicated up to 9. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer revealed that Monday. The findings come after Kentucky GOP congressmen and other lawmakers on the panel examined suspicious activity reports sent by the banks to the Treasury Department, alerting of the potential criminal activity. Thousands of pages, this is quotes from Comer, thousands of pages of financial records related to the Biden family, their companies, and associates' business schemes were made available to members of the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, which confirmed the importance of this investigation. The Biden family enterprise is centered on Joe Biden's political career and connections, and it has generated an exorbitant amount of money for the Biden family. We've identified 6 additional members of Joe Biden's family who may have benefited from the Biden's family business and that we are investigating, bringing the total number of those involved or benefiting up to 9. So it appears that his first son, Hunter, received about $610,000 in payments as a part of a 2017 deal. Brother James Biden got roughly $360,000, and the president's daughter-in-law, Hallie Biden, received $25,000. That is what is confirmed. And the panel's March memo also listed a, quote, unknown Biden, who received 4 payments in 2017, totaling $70,000. And on Monday, Comer did not provide any clues as to who the 6 new Biden family members were, but the House Oversight Committee will continue to pursue additional bank records to follow the Biden's tangled web of financial transactions. So this is all according to Monday. Rep. Nancy Mace, who reviewed the 100 or so suspicious activity reports alongside Comer, said in a tweet Monday that it's wild the amount of Biden family members involved and hinted that evidence has been uncovered pointing to prostitution rings. She said, I'll have to tell you, there are many more Bidens involved than we previously knew. And every time you look under a stone, there's so much more you have to investigate because it's wild, the number of family members involved, Mace said in a video posted to Twitter. And it's even the amount of money that we're talking about in these suspicious activity reports is astronomical. And the accusations therein, the source of the funding, where the money's going, the shell companies, prostitution rings, etc. It's insanity that it's not been investigated in the way that it should be, she added. So that was something that Nancy Mace said on Monday, a Republican from South Carolina. She said, it's insanity to me that it's not been investigated in the way it should be. That's what Nancy Mace said on Monday in a video posted to Twitter. Now, it's kind of funny because now, 2 hours ago, according to Fox News, Hunter Biden investigation being mishandled. There's clear conflicts of interest, according to an IRS whistleblower. Crazy how Nancy Mace brings up it's not being investigated in the way it should be. And then today, 2 days later, there is a whistleblower that comes out and tells us affirmatively that it's not being handled in the way that it should be. So, going on with this story, an IRS criminal supervisory agent seeking whistleblower protection claims the investigation into Hunter Biden is being mishandled by the Biden administration. In a letter dated April 19th, 2023, which is today, attorney Mark D. Lytle of Washington, D.C.-based law firm Nixon Peabody LLP tells members of the United States House of Representatives and U.S. Senate that his client has been overseeing the, quote, ongoing and sensitive investigation of a high-profile, controversial subject since early 2020 and would like to make protected whistleblower disclosures to Congress. The story was first reported by the Wall Street Journal, and Fox News has since confirmed the story through a source familiar with the investigation that the subject at issue is Hunter Biden. So here's the thing: in the letter today, it never explicitly says Hunter Biden, but the Wall Street Journal and then Fox News have both confirmed that with a source familiar with the investigation, that it is Hunter Biden. So we know it's Hunter Biden. For anybody out there that's going to be like, oh, well, the letter didn't actually say Hunter Biden, all those lefties that like to get on my ass about that. Yeah, it's confirmed by multiple news sources, including the Wall Street Journal and Fox News, that it is talking about Hunter Biden. And so in Wednesday's letter, Lytle, the attorney, said his client has already made legally protected disclosures internally at the IRS. The protected disclosures, quote, contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. Okay, so here's what that means before we go on more into this article. So it says the protected disclosures, quote, contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. Meaning, and so if it's a senior political appointee, it's likely somebody in the executive branch, somebody that is within Biden's either cabinet or that works closely with Biden and has had to testify before Congress. Who this is, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily say that in here. I'm sure that's news that we will get at some point when this whistleblower, if he gets his protections granted and everything, we'll find out more. But so that means that this whistleblower has information that basically shows that, or could prove that somebody within the Biden administration committed perjury to Congress in regards to these investigations into Hunter Biden's business dealings. Lytle also said that his client has information that the investigator failed to mitigate, quote, clear conflicts of interest, adding that the investigator allegedly allowed preferential treatment and politics to infect decisions and protocols normally followed by law enforcement professionals if the subject was not politically connected. Quote, my goal is to ensure that my client can properly share his lawfully protected disclosures with congressional committees. Thus, I respectfully request that your committees work with me to facilitate sharing this information with Congress legally and with the fully informed advice of counsel. Representatives from the First Son did not immediately respond, so Hunter Biden's reps did not immediately respond to the question regarding the alleged mishandling of the investigation. The president's son has been under federal investigation since 2018, which is being led by Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who's a prosecutor appointed by former President Donald Trump. And Fox News first reported, so it keeps going on, this article about how the first reported in 2020 that Hunter Biden was subject of a grand jury investigation. He has yet to be charged with any crimes. The House Committee on Oversight and Accountability Chairman James Comer, who I mentioned earlier, who's a Republican from Kentucky, told Fox that efforts by the Biden administration to block efforts to charge Hunter were, quote, deeply concerning. A quote from Comer is, the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability has been following the Bidens' tangled web of complex corporate and financial records. It's clear from our investigation that Hunter and other members of the Biden family engaged in deceptive, shady business schemes to avoid scrutiny, as they made millions from foreign adversaries like China, he said. We've been wondering all along where the heck the DOJ and the IRS have been. Now it appears the Biden administration may have been working overtime to prevent the Bidens from facing consequences. Now, I think that's incredibly important. The question I have, and what I want to learn, because here's the thing, this is a developing story. The whistleblower has just come forward and said, I want to whistleblow. That's how this has worked, is because there are legal ways. So like a lot of people know of like Edward Snowden, and a lot of people claim that Edward Snowden could have come forward legally to whistleblow on the NSA. There's also an issue of courts and everything, and FISA courts and secrecy from the government in that case. So we're not going to get super duper into that. But the point being is that there are legal ways for a whistleblower to come forward, and that is what this whistleblower is trying to do. We don't know every detail. We just know enough that the whistleblower is willing to share so that he doesn't share too much and possibly have to face legal repercussions for his potential whistleblowing. So that's what he's trying to do. But my big question in all this is it really being mishandled, this investigation? Or is it really just being flat out ignored? Because as Comer said, they've been wondering all along where the heck the DOJ and the IRS has been. Now, it appears that the Biden administration may have been working overtime to prevent the Bidens from facing consequences. So yes, I guess ignorance is a part of it being mishandled. But I wonder if it's actually being mishandled, if somebody's purposefully ignoring evidence and such, or if they're just flat out saying, screw this, because they're probably also in the pocket. Wouldn't surprise me if these people were also in the pocket of the Bidens anyways.